Hey, it's Brooklyn Ty at Brooklyn Ty NYC. What's the word? Hey, it's Brooklyn Ty, and you're tuned in to What's the Word podcast. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And for some of y'all, I'll say welcome back. This is episode 2 of season 2, and I appreciate you all for tuning in. If you've been rocking with me from the beginning by sharing my podcast, telling a friend to tell a friend, buying my merch, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for following my motto of spread love. It's the Brooklyn Ty way. If this is your first time tuning in, where have you been? Well, you're here now, so it's better late than never. Make sure you check out the previous episodes and season 1, basically until you're all caught up. Check out my blog, my podcast at BrooklynTyNYC.com, and that's BKLYNTYENYC.com. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at BKLYNTYENYC. And yeah, so let's get into it. Today's episode, I got to hang out recently with my brother from another mother, the legendary one half of the UMC's Kool Kim, aka NY Oil, after a recent show in Newport News. But before we get into that, let's get into Ty Talks News.
Yo, what up? This is Ben from the Jungle Brothers, and you are now listening to What's the Word podcast.
So on today's Ty Talks News, it's a little bit all over the place. Good news, bad news, sad news. So recently on August 8th, Olivia Newton-John died. I was rather sad because she is someone who I idolized when I was younger because Grease was one of my favorite movies. I'm a trained dancer, for those who don't know, been dancing since I was like 15 months. So basically, through my dance career, whether tap, ballet, jazz, lyrical, whatever, I've done a lot of the songs from Grease. So, rest in peace to her. She was 73 years old. I don't know if y'all know, but Grease soundtrack is the best-selling soundtrack of all time. You're the One That I Want is the best-selling single of all time. Olivia Newton-John performed that with John Travolta. So, rest in peace to her. She lived a long life, so. Also, because I'm in Virginia, shout out to Missy Elliott. They're doing a street naming for her in Portsmouth, which is where she's from, P-Town. They haven't set a date yet, but, they did like this big voting thing. And it's actually going to be near a new casino that's being built in Portsmouth. So, yeah. And that kind of like it's almost like Ozark to me because Portsmouth doesn't seem like a place to have a casino. But, whatever. In sadder news, so we're going to kind of bring it to like sad news for a minute because this is stuff that y'all may have missed if you're not heavy on social media. And then, as always, it really just depends on who you follow, where you get your news from. But I really tried to stay away from negative news reports. However, so let's talk about this lady, Nicole Lorraine Linton. Lorraine, that's my middle name, so that's some bullshit right there by itself. That someone with that name would be involved in something so crazy, stupid, and like, basically, she's a 37-year-old woman. This happened in LA at a very popular and heavy intersection. At first, it was reported that she was drinking and driving. her best friend ended up coming out saying like, oh, like, because it be your own people. Her best friend, soon as the accident happened, her best friend was one that reported like, oh, she got into it with her boyfriend and she was drinking and, so that information I haven't found to be true. But basically she was driving at 90 miles per hour, again, at a very busy intersection, killing like 6 people, a pregnant mother who was 23 years old, and the lady's 1-year-old son, and actually the baby that she was carrying also died as well. Like, this lady was a traveling nurse. Like, now it's come out that they stated as profound mental health problems. She's had 13 previous crashes while she was still driving. I don't know if she was legally driving. She may have had her license suspended or revoked or what have you. But, all of this information is kind of like still coming out. But that's some bullshit right there. She needs to be thrown under the jail. Like, yeah. Like, if you get a chance, if you're interested in seeing a video, it has been like posted all over social media. You can Google her name. I'm sure the video is still up there. It is sensitive content. So just be advised and aware of that. But like, yeah, she like sped through and car went on fire and, again, hitting people and all of that stuff. But she survived. So she's going to be, and I think when accidents like these happen and like the person who caused the accident carelessly survives, that's God's way of like, yeah, you're going to suffer. You're going to pay a very, very intense, like, you'll regret this. And she might, kill herself while she's in jail. Anyway, moving right along. Another sad situation. Again, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but these are situations that are happening in today's world, and I think should be discussed. And just really like the reality of these things are really happening. Like, there's crazy people out here in the world, and you never know when your last days will be here, and you need to appreciate every breath that you take, because at any given moment, your life can senselessly be taken away. So yeah, I say that to say, a black mother of 6, this happened in Philly. This was last Saturday, August 6th. Her baby father stabbed her like numerous times. 34-year-old. Her name was Ashley Lockhart. Broad daylight. Like, there's video of that as well. But domestic violence, she had an order of protection. It's reported that they still live together, which to me is crazy, because like, how do you have an order of protection but you still live together? I'm not really too clear on that. But, rest in peace to her. Them six daughters. Very young ages. You can look her up. I don't have, I apologize. I should have had like more information where, I'm sure they're taking donations if you want to try to support and help out the kids. I'm sure there's a GoFundMe. When I post this podcast, if I come across a GoFundMe, I will have it in the show notes. So, look out for that. Good news, I have the Breonna Taylor cops have been charged. Charges include federal civil rights offenses, unlawful conspiracies, obstruction offenses, use of excessive force. So, finally, it only took like 2 years. For those who have been living in La La Land and don't know who Breonna Taylor is or was, She is the female who was sleeping, and cops ran up in the crib and just started shooting and killed her. Ended up being the wrong house. The person that they were looking for was not in the home. But, so finally charges have been brought to the 4 cops involved in that. One other last sad thing, and I promise to never have this much sad stories, or at least have an equal amount of better things going on in the world. But a man recently just killed his 3 kids on live. I don't remember if it was Facebook or IG Live, but it was live nonetheless. A family member ended up seeing it and called the cops. And they got to the house, but they weren't there. This idiot killed his 3 kids as well as himself. This happened in Oklahoma City. Started talking about talking directly to the kid's mom, saying how she gave him STDs. Just started calling out a lot of, I don't know, family members or friends, and was saying blaming them for him killing his 3 kids and himself. I don't understand. It's crazy. And so ending with that, just pray for the world. Pray for those that have mental illnesses. Check on your strong friends. Check on your weak friends. Just check on everyone who you claim to love, and just make sure, because people are snapping. You see a lot of things going on, and then you hear I would have never thought, he or she would have done that. There's no way. And these are we've gone through COVID, and we're still dealing with COVID. Now we have monkeypox, and, just a mental illness. If you are, having thoughts of suicide, even there's help for you for that as well. I don't know. This it's a crazy world that we live in. And what's even more crazy to me is recently on social media, they had a challenge that I don't know who came up with this challenge, where mothers mostly were trying to, basically, I think I mentioned in one of the other episodes, but they run in the house and they wake their kids up, or come to the kids' room and tell them, get dressed. So-and-so, I'm about to fight this mother or this lady outside, and I need you to come help me because she has a child that's your age, and if their child jumps in, I want you to jump in. So now we have kids really being scared, because they don't want to fight. They don't know what's going on. And then being woken up from your sleep just for your parent to try to get likes on social media, to me, is ridiculous. But we've gone from that now to, as of the last few days, I've been seeing on TikTok and IG, where there's some kind of filter, or I don't know if it's Snapchat filter. I don't know where the filter is coming from, but there's a filter with a ghost, or something like a spooky figure that it only shows up on the phone. It's not really there. So they're facing the camera towards the kids. They're putting it out, and then they're putting the kids in a room. And then the little scary thing appears, and then they're running out the room, locking the door, holding the door, whatever they're doing to keep the child or the kids in the room. While on the reflection on the phone, what they're seeing is this figure, but it's actually really just a filter. But of course, the kids don't know. So now this is what we're doing to our kids. These kids are already going through so many mental things right now, especially going through COVID. You have kids who, have been born and seeing people with masks, only seeing from like the eyes up, basically, to not being able to see someone's expression or like read lips or, just being born into these situations or gradually adapting from kids being able to go to school, being able to hug and, be side by side to advance into being 6 feet from and not being able to see family and friends on a regular basis and traveling. And like, there's just so many things that these kids are growing and adapting to a new world that we as adults are trying to figure out. And y'all are scaring the hell out of these kids just for likes and clicks. And like, I do not understand, but I need y'all to stop it. Before that, a few months ago, y'all were doing the challenge on your grandmother and your elderly aunts and uncles about a scholarship and telling them that they had to do like strange things for it. Like, we're not evolving into like a good way of living. People, like, can we get it together? When we see fuckery and bullshit, can we call people out on it? Because I do. I don't have a problem with it. Like, my kids will tell you, I'll let them know, like, you're doing too much. Like, seriously. So can we just like stop with the kids? Like, let's stop scaring these kids. Let's stop using kids in order to get likes. If you cannot get your own like or own share or retweet or whatever you call the option of spreading what y'all are spreading, if you can't do it without the kids, basically, everything in a nutshell, don't do it. It doesn't need to be done. Y'all are making these kids grow into people that will need heavier therapy than what they will already probably need now. So let's stop it. So anyway, I'm rambling, but it's just, these are the things that have been going on. These are the things that have been pissing me off. And yeah, so I'm going to end it there with Ty Talks News.
What's good? It's your boy Ozzy Oz representing that Weekend Hype Show. Yo, I'm here with What's the Word with Brooklyn Ty. What's good? Let's get hype.
So now it's time to get into what I'm listening to. Basically, what I'm listening to right now, every day on a daily basis, Eniko, she has the King's affirmation. Everyone, I'm sorry, and I don't mean her pronoun actually, or the pronoun is they, them, their. Please forgive me. This is all like new in speaking in these pronouns and such. But Eniko has the King's affirmation. Everyone has heard this song. Like, it's been all over TikTok. It's been on IG Reels. Yeah, everybody has been using it. So I actually bought the single and I use it for like my prayer, yoga, meditation routine in the morning. And so, yeah, check that out. Follow them at in.iko Eniko. Yeah, pretty cool. Also, what I'm listening to, I have a Wondery app, but you can also check it out on Spotify. True Love. True Love just has short stories with like Black actors and actresses. And then it has like maybe 8 short 20 to 23 minute stories where it's like almost like reading a book, basically, when I say stories. So it would almost be like a 8-chapter short story book. And there's a few that they have that one follows like a main character and she's like she works for NASA. So check that out. Again, that's True Love on the Wondery app or Spotify. And since I've last potted, I've been listening to Amy Winehouse, Back to Black. Like, one of my favorite albums. I just been really skating the last few days, and she's been on heavy rotation. You know, Just Friends with the little reggae flow. That's like, you know, one of my favorites off of Back to Black. Also, what's that? What's the title? You Know I'm No Good. One of my favorite singles from Back to Black. I would sing, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Me and Mr. Jones, which they used to say or still say or claim to say, that is like dedicated to Nas on the low. But that's my shit, because she starts like, what kind of fuckery is this? Like, start a song like that. It'll go far. So that's basically what I'm listening to.
You're now listening to What's the Word podcast with Brooklyn Ty.
So now let's get into what I'm watching. So recently I just downloaded the All Black app, which basically black film, TV shows, movies. There's a series. I only finished the first season. It's called Double Cross. And it's about these twins, Eric and Erica Cross. One is like a doctor. One is like a thug, but he has like doctor skills. They're like fighting crime of like sex trafficking and trying to stop it from happening. And someone gets killed and they are trying to figure out who murdered the person and find the missing kids. It's really good. So just check that out. I mean, and this is like really just something to watch if you want to take your mind and thoughts out of the things that are going on in the world, because that's really all at this point, that I'm just really trying to stay busy and stay focused on other things outside of social media and the news, because as y'all just heard, I just really have not a lot of good things to really report on. And I really think I can find some things. So I will do better in doing that. So next episode, it will be much more positivity going on. But, you know, anyway, College Hill, I'm still watching, like I mentioned in the last episode. However, I'm just waiting for it to finish and then we'll discuss it more. However, on season 1, episode 4, there's this part is, you know, like I said, Ray J is hilarious. Anytime Ray J is on TV or being interviewed, he's just going to be a funny, good time. But there's this part where he comes inside the room, and it's like, I guess like a living room or like a den hangout area. And he's like, oh shit, I left my shades outside. So Lamar Odom is sitting there, and Lamar's into his phone, but he offers to like go and get it. And so like Ray J is like, oh shit, like, yeah, that would be, you know, that'd be nice. Like, you know, that's what's up. Thanks for offering. But Lamar just sits there. He doesn't move. He doesn't look up from the phone. So Ray J is sitting there is like, is he going to go get it? Or like, you know, like what's going on? But again, like Lamar never looked like he offered to go get the phone, but never got up or made a gesture like he was going to get it. So Ray J just gets up to get it. And I may not have stated it like you have to see it in order for it to be as funny as it is to me. I promise you, like, this shit is hilarious. So check that out. I want y'all to check out College Hill Celebrity Edition, because I do want to have like a conversation about it, because it's just funny. It's just nice, good people who they brought together from like different worlds, and just the conversation, the different lessons learned on the show in real time, basically. Yeah, I just want y'all to check it out. Just check it out so we have something to talk about. Anyway, moving right along, I'm also watching The Family Business. Now, The Family Business is from author Carl Weber. Carl Weber also got me through my teenage years, like urban books. he is dope. He actually owned a bookstore at Gertz Mall in Queens back in the days where he sold Black urban books, Black books in general, just like it was like your bookstore. So he has a show that comes on BET Plus. Also College Hill, I'm sorry, is also on BET Plus. But The Family Business is a show. It's 3 seasons available right now. I've actually finished all of them. The first season has 8 episodes. Season 2 and season 3 have 12 episodes. It has Lisa Ray, Darren Henson, KJ Smith, who I mentioned, I think in last episode. She's also in Sister, also on BET. Tammy Roman is on it. She does an excellent job. Ernie Hudson, which once y'all see him, y'all will know who he is. He's been in a lot of different films. He plays Elsie Duncan, who is like the owner of a car dealership business. Like they're real famous. Like they're like a real famous, wealthy Black car dealership business. But the son, who's again played by Darren Henson, he creates like this drug called heat. So it would be like basically like the equivalent of ecstasy. So like also, you know who's also in it? Miguel A. Nunez, who just admitted recently that he's 63 years old. Black don't crack. He's another like Pharrell. Like you would never. I wouldn't have given him 63, but he's one that everyone has always wondered like what his real age is, because he's literally been in movies since I was a kid, since I was young. So again, watch that, The Family Business on BET Plus. That's what I'm watching. I think that's what you should be checking out and watching. So that's what I have for that. And now let's get into what I'm reading. Basically, what I have been reading is a lot of different things online to help me improve and getting better with my podcast. There's words that I say like, and a lot of silence like that. So I've been reading on ways of trying to get my podcast etiquette better. Also how to promote it more and get it circulating so everyone is listening and tuning in. Because, I think I have a great podcast. I think I will be bringing a lot of people who I think you all should know and I think have great qualities and are bringing good things into this world that, I think y'all should fuck with. So that's what I'm reading, really, basically at this point. And speaking of getting better and bringing people who I think you should know, let's get into that segment.
What's up, y'all? This is Rashad Wright, Never Been Wrong, and you are tuned into What's the Word Brooklyn Podcast with Brooklyn Ty.
Okay, so this episode of People I Think You Should Know, I want to tell you about my friend Nisha Himes. She's from New Jersey, but she's here in Chesapeake, Virginia. She has a foundation called GROW, GROW, which stands for Girls Recognizing Our Worth. And again, that's GROW Foundation, Inc. It's a nonprofit organization. Basically, let me just give you a little, I'm going to read something from her website. She's an award-winning, and this is a quote, she's an award-winning and nationally recognized activist and motivational speaker. After leaving a 5-year-long abusive and toxic relationship, Nisha decided to use her heroin experience to help other domestic violence survivors. She began telling her story through her gift of spoken word poetry, performing at open mics and various events where she met and bonded with other survivors. That's all I want to really kind of give you about who she is. I hope to have her on the show, on my podcast soon, especially now that we're in the same state. Again, she's from Jersey, but I met her here in Virginia through Fresh Radio. A lot of my Freshians, we have a lot of mutual friends and that. So definitely check her out. Her website is www.growfoundationva.org. Again, if you know someone who is in an abusive domestic violence situation and need help, trying to get them out, or if maybe you are in an abusive domestic violence situation and you want to try to reach out or get help or figure out how to get out of your situation, I'll check her out. Check her out. Again, it's Grow Foundation Inc. growfoundationva.org is the website. And her name is Nisha Himes. And she's someone or people I think you should know.
What's up, everybody? This is Steph Love, and you are tuned in to What's the Word podcast with Brooklyn Tide.
And now, finally, let's get into this episode's feature. Now, don't be thrown off. So the interview starts in the middle of me and Kool Kim talking because our conversations, like, he be speaking so much knowledge and dropping so many jewels that I just hit record before the actual introduction of the interview starting because I didn't want to miss anything. I didn't know what he was about to say, and I was just like, I gotta catch it. So again, don't be thrown off because it does kind of start with him talking already, and then I do an introduction of who he is. But it was an honor to chat with him, seeing him after many years. Like, we have spoken over the phone, we've spoken on social media, like, we're in heavy contact almost daily. If you follow me, I share a lot of his work, a lot of his stuff, so check out Kool Kim, aka NY Oil.
You're now listening to What's the Word podcast with Brooklyn Tide.
And all of that, and then, people, whatever, felt like we was, tripping or whatever I say. The one thing that I said is that what we didn't realize about UMCs, even though people was trying to make us out to be like this happy rap, silly shit, niggas that even thug-ass niggas loved us. Like, yo, this is my niggas. Like, we was like they little brothers. And they appreciated that. But whenever I would think of that or say that, I was thinking about that day at that show, because them niggas loved us. You know what I'm saying? Nigga in the wheelchair. I was like, yeah, you know me. So, I was partying with everybody. You know how I do. And so, years later, right, I was in Atlanta with it's the DJ nigga that used to come that I know from Augusta, that used to come to the bars. His wife used to come to the boutique and buy shit. You would know him by face. But long and short, I went down to Atlanta with him to this club. When we went to the club, I seen that dude Al. And he was like, yo, you probably don't remember. But I booked you, I was like, yo, and I'm bad with faces and names. You know what I'm saying? You got it honest from me.
Yeah, I can't remember nothing.
So I'm like, yo, he's like, yo, you booked. I said, yo, you was in Virginia, right? He was like, yeah. I said, yo, your man's had a wheelchair. He was like, word, you man? I was like, yeah. I said, yo, I remember that. Yo, I never forget that show. How's this nigga doing? He's like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, yeah, I never forgot that show, because that was always my point of reference, that, yo, you could be in this positive thing. Like, real tough guys ain't trying to see you act tough in front of them. Because these niggas know what real toughness is. Like, these niggas know what killing is. They know what hustling is really about. They ain't trying to see you in front of them. Like, these niggas want to break too. They want to hear a nigga just sing a song that sound fun and make them happy. And we was doing that. And we just didn't understand the strength that embodied. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, that is just a very serious life lesson that I had. So it was just bugged out because when I seen him again today, I was like, yo, yeah, son, I know, it's like, yo, I know exactly who you are. You this, that. He's like, oh, shit, you remember? I was like, yeah, nigga, I'll never forget. So I told him why tonight. I was like, yo, I'm going to tell you why I don't forget y'all. And I said, this is why. He's like, wow, that shit is heavy. I was like, yeah, son, that's how shit is. That's how it was in them days, man. I got to end the story like that.
All right. So y'all just heard Kool Kim and Why Oil before the interview started. Give a little memory from a show we just came from that he just rocked out at Good Vibes in Newport News, Virginia. So how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm feeling great. I'm fresh off the stage. Of course, I'm coming down from all the excitement of it, but yeah, it was awesome, man. It was an awesome event.
So for those who don't know, let my listeners know who Kool Kim and Why Oil is.
Yeah. So what's up, y'all? It's your friendly neighborhood fly guy, Kool Kim, aka NY Oil Ideal, and y'all may know me as one of those fantastic voices from the group, the UMCs, responsible for #1 hits like Blue Cheese and One to Grow On, and of course, Time to Set It Straight. And also, years after that, I would change my name and go under the name NY Oil, where I delivered, pretty much the inspiration for what's now called the woke culture, with a song called Y'all Should All Get Lynched, and you're a queen, and What Up My Wigger, and just the entire Hood Treason album. And now here it is in these days and age, I've returned to my essence of Kool Kim. I'm dropping dope music, and I'm rallying up the hip hop culture to remember to enjoy themselves and enjoy their music and catch the vibes in a real way. And it's really happening, and I'm really excited to be a part of that.
That's what's up. So you've been killing it. So every day, we have people like D-Nice that got a lot of people through COVID.
Yeah.
People that never had to sit at home and be around people that they don't like, had to be sitting at home. But you flipped it, and like every day was consistent writing, like dropping something every day. Every day was guaranteed that I would see you on my timeline.
Yeah.
What made that come about?
Well, I was doing Collab Lab, where I was collaborating with different MCs. And, unfortunately with Collab Lab, there would be a time lag in between doing each episode. And, what I understood about social media and Instagram in particular was that consistency was necessary. And so I didn't want to have these lulls where I wasn't having no content going up because I was waiting to do the next Collab Lab. And then I didn't want to do content that was so far off from what Collab Lab was about that people would be confused. So to that end, what I did was I just started doing, like, I had a bunch of old songs that I never released. Okay. So I did little short form videos to them to fit the Reels format, right? And then the next thing I did was I was like, yo, when I started running out of those joints, I said, yo, you know what I do? I just do something brand new and let people just hear some new shit. It's not like I can't do it. And I wrote my first 1 minute takedown, or what would soon be called 1 minute takedowns. And, that's really how I started getting popping, because I just started doing these songs in 1 minute, because that was how long the Reels were. You could do,
right.
1 minute. So I I just do these little 1 minute joints and slay some shit that either people know or beat, or slay a beat that I might have heard on somebody else's Instagram or TikTok, and just do my thing. And even though it's a common thing to duet stuff, like on TikTok it's called duet, and on Instagram it's called remixing, but it's a common thing to do that. But the way I was doing, I did something new with mine, because what I did was I made it sound professional. So any of those 1 minute takedowns I did, you could play that shit in your car and it'll crank. Like, it's going to sound like it's supposed to sound.
Right.
And then I would do accompanying videos to it, and people just really enjoyed it because it just was some hip hop shit. It was just, and it was fun.
It was definitely fun.
And I be saying was, but I'm going to continue doing. I'm still putting them out. Right now I'm concentrating my efforts and energy on dropping singles. But after time, I'll do some more 1 minute takedowns just to keep the vibes going.
So what you have coming up? Like, what's next for you right now? You just had a show, Not For Nothing. If y'all missed this show, it was something to be remembered as the first show in a long, long time.
Yeah.
Post-COVID, I guess, but during COVID, I should say still.
Yeah, no,
but
right. We still in that world,
we still
right?
in it. But we gonna get to the other side. But on the other side, I have great hopes that we're gonna be seeing a lot of you.
I mean, listen, I would say I hope that you will, but you are, because we everything that we doing is just happening. You know what I'm saying? It's just not even anything to question anymore. It's just something to bear witness to. And, I ain't even saying that facetiously. It's just, it is what it is. And it's a beautiful thing. And it's something that all of us need to start thinking like, actualizing what we believe is possible. That's what I did for myself, and it's manifesting. What I'm doing is actually happening. And what's happening is I'm doing a single every month. The first single was My Condolences, which is doing fantastic.
Very dope.
And, the second single's already finished and in queue to go out. You know what I'm saying? And the third single is already finished and in queue to go out.
Okay.
And so is the fourth and the fifth. You understand? Okay. Like, I got them joints on deck because that's what I do. And, so I'm going to be constantly putting out music. And, with the efforts of just entertaining the people that dig what I'm doing.
Well, I do want to say, I want to put it down like on audio because I'm proud of you. I've been seeing this vision, like we talk, we vibe, and like you said, you manifest. And I'm a strong believer in I've manifest things. I'm known to speak things into existence. So when I see you doing stuff, I'm like, yo, he's about to be back on like the atmosphere, and people better really get ready and like brace themselves, because when you come through, it's going to be a strong force, and you're going to have a lot of people looking up like, yo, he been in this game. You ain't never go nowhere. Right. And I tell everybody, it's like you haven't been missing. It just depends on where you get your music from, who you following, and who's consistent. And you have definitely been consistent. But what would you say to someone, like you had a strong message at the show tonight, but what would you say to someone who wants to be in the business or just have aspirations to be anything that they can't really see, but they should like stick with it, stay like, what's your message to that?
What I would say is, be whatever you are, right? So whatever you are, like if you are a wedding planner, be a wedding planner. You understand? Like, I'm a wedding planner. And then start planning weddings. Start your event planner, start planning events. Even if you ain't got no event to plan. Plan some shit that you create some shit to plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, make it manifest. And it sounds easier than it is. Understood. I'm not trying to oversimplify something that is not. It takes time. It's effort. Don't think that what you're doing is not going to take time and effort just because you thought positive about it. But think positive about it, go about it, and then push until something happens. You know what I'm saying? Keep pushing until something happens. Like, I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to relent. I'm going to keep doing it. And also make sure that whatever you do is fun and it's something that I can do this indefinitely, whether it make money or not. So when I do my 1 minute takedowns, I was of a mindset, I do these because I do this for fun. Like my mother gave me permission. And I mean that quite literally. She was like, do your thing. You a man. You handled your business. You built your house. You took care of your family. You raised your kids. You love on your grandkids. You love on your wife. You're a good dude. Everything is all right. Go go, go make your music. She said, but make sure that it's fun. As long as you're having fun, it's all right. And keep it hip hop. Huh?
Straight like that.
Well, the old moms told me keep it hip hop. Like after that, ain't nothing else to discuss. Keep it hip hop. All right, shit. Let me go. It's time to go. So that's what I did. And, things happen. So I would say to people that's out there, whoever's out there listening and happens to listen to this build, be confident in the knowledge that it's not over for you. There's still opportunity and chance for you to manifest whatever it is that's in your spirit to do. Do things responsibly. Do things by priority. Do them properly and move on to the next. And if you really can take that advice, if it resonates with you, you will achieve a lot more than what you imagine that you can achieve. Just running around randomly and just bugging out. But if you seriously want to do things, just be serious about doing them and get to it.
True.
And allow it to lead you where it leads you, because that shit ain't going to go where you thought it was going to go. It's going to go where it's going. And that's not going to be where you thought it was going to go.
That's what's up. And before we go, again, let us know what you have coming up and where folks can follow you, check you out, support, all of that good stuff.
Of course, more music's to come, more singles. You want to definitely connect with me. You want to connect with me on Instagram. It's Kool Kim _NYOIL, NYOIL. And I'm opening up a new YouTube page, Kool Kim MC. I'll be launching soon. In fact, this video, this trip, and this experiences are going to be the first real in-depth video that I do that's formatted for my YouTube channel. And, just a lot more creative stuff, more 1 minute takedowns. And, a lot. The main thing is you'll follow me because I'm going to show you that it ain't over till it's over. And I'm going to open your eyes to all these amazing things that you didn't think was possible, but you're going to see me make them possible. I'm 51 years old. Just the other day, I showed cats me bench pressing 315 pounds. Like, yo. Yeah, son, I could do anything.
True.
But so could you once you set your mind to it. I'm just going to show you how to set your mind to that shit. So definitely follow me on Instagram. Definitely pick up my new single, My Condolences. Because now here's the thing with music. A lot of times people be like, yeah, I'll check it. I'll check the next thing. I'll just get that. Now each song is a part of a larger body of music. So you don't want to miss your first joint because the fifth joint might need the first joint for you to understand the fifth joint. So definitely stay in tune with all the songs, all of what I'm doing, so that you can have the full experience. Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And shout out to your daughter.
Yeah, Big Nay is in the building right now.
Shout out to her.
Sure.
She performed. I'm going to post the video, so check that out. She's dope. Stay tuned for her because I see her doing some things in the future. So
that's right.
I appreciate you. Thank you very much for taking time to talk to me, and we'll be connecting soon.
You already know the vibes. Yo, I pray everybody on the Talking Child vibes. Yo, stick with it because this ain't gonna do nothing but blow. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely behind this and support my sister Ty to the fullest.
Thank you.
Yo, what up, fam? It's your friendly neighborhood fly guy, Kool Kim. And yo, I just want to send my condolences to everyone opposing this because right now, I'm on What's the Word podcast with my sister, Brooklyn Ty. And listen, it ain't no lie. Anything we do, stay fly. You understand? Keep tuning in. So much more to come. Peace.
Now, how freaking dope is he really? Like, he is so dope to me that he kind of like, he'll hit me up. He'll like just say, hey, I'm just checking on you, just making sure you and the family was okay and doing good. And like, I do the same thing in return. He's just someone who like, he shows up when I least expect it and is always right on time, almost like God, like ironically. But like, yeah, he's a real cool guy. So follow him. Make sure that you check him out. It's Kool Kim _ NY Oil, and that's cool with a K. Yeah, like, you know, he calls me Superwoman, and I always appreciate that because he understands and respects my grind because, like, I wear mini caps. He wears mini caps as well. Like, I literally watched him build or rebuild his bathroom and was intrigued and was like, how did he do that? And like, just like the knowledge that he has, he's very handy with putting things together. So, you know, check him out. And that's really all I have for this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to tell a friend to tell a friend. Share my podcast. You can listen to this podcast everywhere. Follow me on social media, mainly IG and Twitter at Brooklyn Ty NYC. And that's BKLYNTYENYC. My podcast and my blog, because again, I am a blogger, can be found directly on my website, www.brooklyntynyc.com. And again, that's BKLYNTYENYC.com. You can shop my merch there. You can click the link to be led to my podcast. Subscribe to my website so that you can be informed when a new podcast and a blog drops. Also, just in case I might be in your area, you know, maybe as a vendor or there's something going on in your area that I might post in my newsletter and share it and send it out. You know, so yeah, check that out. My merch, again, shop on my website, brooklyntynyc.com/shop. If you want to hit it directly, I have hoodies, mugs, double-sided totes, t-shirts, sweatshirts, all of that good stuff. So, you know, check me out. And as always, special shout out to Smiles, and that's at SmilesTF1 on Instagram, Twitter. You know, my podcast, program director, editor, everything that this podcast brings is because of him. So I appreciate him. Let him know I sent you. Check him out for all of your podcasts and recording needs. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. And as always, spread love. It's the Brooklyn Ty way. Hey, it's Brooklyn Ty. At Brooklyn Ty NYC. And spread love. It's the Brooklyn Ty way.
Like, yo, son. Y'all niggas like, it's just not, it ain't a job. Nah, nigga, this is what you love to do. Right. So just do that shit because you love to do it. Like, it ain't gotta be, it don't gotta be about nothing else. We grown niggas just connecting right now. And we on our shit that we on. These niggas got whole comic conventions where they dress up like superheroes. That's cool, right? So why it's not cool for us to get together and vibe on this music that we've been growing up on and living on for all these years? And nobody can tell us no to that. And so let's do that. And that's what we did.